Welcome back, guys. Latitude 19. Once again, we have our great friend, Adrian. Welcome back, bro.
Hey, Octavio, how are you, man? How's it going?
Great. I know you're back also again because people have been requesting to know a little more about you since you were telling us that you were going to go more into detail. I know you have a lot to talk about today. But first off, tell me, what's up with the tie? You look very nice, very formal. Tell me, what's going on today?
Thank you so much, Octavio. Thanks for having me here, guys. I appreciate being here, guiding you through my journey and telling you more about it. Today is Thanksgiving in Canada.
What?
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, Canadian guys.
Thank you so much.
And girls, of course.
Exactly. Happy Thanksgiving to all my friends and family there. I wish you the best. I wish you're having a blessed time with your family, enjoying a good meal, and just having fun overall, and just staying close to your relatives. Everything is important, as I explained before.
Yes.
Family is the most important thing. So I hope you're around family and friends and people who care about you.
Beautiful. So now let's get into the subject because I really want to know what you're going to tell us today. So talk to me. What's the first thing that you have in mind to tell us?
Awesome. So last time we agreed that I was going to tell you and explain you more in detail about how is it to invest here in Mexico, investing in real property, in real estate, and actually moving your money from Canada to Mexico. I'm going to give you 4 facts about investing in Mexico. So here they are. I'm just going to be thorough. I'm going to try to be as clear as possible for everybody. And I'm just going to give you all the facts that I think that are necessary for any investor that wants to move, either to move here in Mexico or even invest from abroad and investing in property in Mexico.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Let's get started. What's the first one?
Thank you. The first one that I wanted to discuss is the average house pricing. Did you know that the properties in Canada, the average cost of a property is $746,000?
What the? Are you serious?
Yeah, those numbers.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Those numbers are based on the Canada Housing and Mortgage Corporation. You can look into those facts yourself. They're all over the internet.
Okay, so what's the difference between that cost and the ones here in Mexico?
So the difference would be, in Canada, it's $746,000 as an average.
Wait, is that Canadian dollars or American dollars?
That's Canadian dollars. But
Okay.
I'm always going to talk about and speak about Canadian dollars.
Okay.
As a Canadian fellow. So in Mexico, the average cost of housing is $200,000 to $230,000. So if you take that into account, it's less than a third.
Wow, did you guys hear that? That's a really good fact.
So yeah, that's a fact. That's 33% of the value that you could earn in a house. So that raises questions for me. So the first question would be that, are you ever going to be able to afford a house in Canada? The second question is, are you always going to be renting a house in Canada? Like, are you always going to be able to keep up with the raising costs of rent in Canada? And the last question that also breaks my heart is, how far are you going to work into retirement? Are you ever going to be able to own your own house? Or are you always going to be renting and just not being able to buy your house?
Wow, that's a deep one because I know a lot of us struggle just to be able to make, a good living, and you want to give your family the best that you can possibly do for them. And then when you come to the table and bring all this great information, you're like opening up the eyes of a lot of people, like, wow, and then that also makes people who live here, the Mexican guys, appreciate what they actually have. Some people don't even know because they haven't really traveled much out there, but now you're bringing so much information that this is very valuable. Continue.
Thank you. So now I'm going to give you fact number 2, which is property taxes.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is important. Last time, I remember we were talking about taxes. And this is also a big and huge difference between being in Canada and living in Mexico. So taxes, in average, in Canada, range from 0.6% in high-value residential areas, which would be the main cities, right?
Okay.
It could be, Vancouver, Calgary, maybe Toronto. It can be any other city in Canada. And for like lower cost cities, which would be like the intermediate cities, it ranges to 2% of the house value.
Wow.
So if you average that for the cost of any house that there is in Canada, if you say the average is not 746,000, let's play it safe, 700,000, and you multiply it by 2% a year, That's $14,000 that is going out of your pocket to the government. You don't see this money. This money is going straight
That is insane. That's
to municipalities and to the provinces there. Obviously, these facts are like, you have to take these with a light pencil and do your own research.
Right.
Because many different municipalities and provinces offer some sort of reliefs for these.
Okay, so it may vary slightly.
It's slightly variable. But yeah, but that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because in Mexico, the average, the national housing, this is in their main website, movetomexico.org. And I'm going to put all the descriptions. I'm going to give you all the full transparency.
Okay.
I researched, and I actually own a property here. So
Okay.
I actually fact
So
checked.
you know what you're talking about.
I double fact checked into it, and it's from 0.2% to 0.4% at most.
Wow, that's not bad. Wow, that's
I
great.
know, right? Yeah, exactly. So it means that even if you buy a high-end property here in Mexico, ranging anywhere from, let's say, $300,000 to $400,000, which I don't think you're gonna end up buying because you can find more affordable housing here, it's gonna be less than $1,000, $2,000 at most in property taxes.
Wow. Did you guys get that? That's a crazy fact. I did not even know that. I have to be honest with you, I had no idea that it was that low.
Thank you. Yeah, there's been a lot of research for these, so just remember, guys, 4 times more. That's a lot. So I'm going to give you the fact number 3, which is
Yes.
cap rate. Do you know what cap rate is?
I kind of have an idea. You know, it's the highest, the amount of the rate that you're gonna get charged, right?
Absolutely. Well, the cap rate, to explain it in plain, simple words, is the net operating income of a house. So how much a house or an investment property can make you, divided into its value.
Okay.
So let's say if you make $10,000 on a $100,000 property, your cap rate is 10%. But this is hardly a truth in Canada. Honestly,
Okay.
I've done a lot of research into that as well, guys. And it's crazy because property values have gone up and rent has been stagnant.
Wow.
And since there are so many people that are leaving Canada, some properties are operating at a net loss every year.
That's insane.
Yeah. So the ranges are from 3% to 4.8%. That's the most you're gonna get as a cap rate in
Cap
Canada.
rate.
In the other hand, in Mexico, you're gonna get anywhere from 7 to 15%.
Shut the front door. Are you freaking kidding me?
No,
I'm gonna
this
buy
is
a property tomorrow.
This is research on the market that I'm actually exploring, on the one that I'm investing in. Obviously, these are averages, right?
Of course.
Exactly. I'm just talking about averages. But if you put it in contrast, if you're saying that you're doing great in Canada, the most you're gonna get is 4.8%.
That's crazy.
The minimum that you're gonna make in Mexico is 7%, guys. The minimum. And if you do well, as I've been doing so far, as a homeowner here, an investor, I make around 12%.
Ooh,
So-
that sounds really juicy.
So it's factual, actually. Yeah, this is a fact. And I have all the numbers, all the statistics, everything checks out. Obviously, you have to do your own research, but I'm just talking out of my experience here. And I'm loving it. I'm not moving here anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I like investing here. Life is less expensive. I pay less taxes. Everything works in my favor. And besides that, I'm making money. And the fourth fact that I'm going to give you guys is home equity. So, Octavio, do you know what home equity is?
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea of what equity means, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, it's the market value of your house minus any debts or any outstanding balance that you have on your house.
Yeah.
So if you have, a $400,000 house and you have $200,000 in your mortgage left to be paid, so you're left with half, right? Pretty simple mathematics. So the good thing about these is in Canada, the rates, you can pull money from that equity.
Okay.
And invest it elsewhere. That's what I'm suggesting. That's what I'm actually doing myself. Because in Canada, I pay 5% of interest in my home equity loan, and I can invest that money elsewhere. Guess where I'm investing?
Smart. Wow.
So I'm investing it here for 13, 14, 15% a year in returns. So basically, even though you can be sitting in money, it doesn't have to be static. It doesn't have to be just...
You just got to keep moving the money, right?
Exactly.
You just got to keep moving. I'm going to hang out more with this guy here because he really knows how to make some money. So continue, my friend.
Thank you. So, well, And another thing, another interesting fact, and actually a pretty bad one for Canadians, is that home equities right now in Canada are at a negative percentage.
Ooh.
So they range from -2%. So that means that you're losing money on your house if you're staying on it. If you keep your house, let's say last year was at a price, now it's next year it's going to lose money. It's going to be 98% of its value from today.
Wow.
And it can
crazy.
range from that to gaining just 1.4% in average in Canada. And that's a fact from the Canada Housing and Mortgage Corporation. These numbers are there for anybody to explore. Whereas in Mexico, the average national house equity that is building for, because there's so many movement here coming here into Mexico. So many people are coming here and wanting to stay and wanting to live here and actually investing and living here. The average is 8.9%.
No freaking way.
So that's around 6 times more than the best scenario that you can have in Canada. And that's the national average. Where I invest, guys, it is up to 15%. So that is high.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Seriously, man. Those are incredible numbers. Like he's saying, just go check out the numbers. He's gonna leave the information here at the bottom. Please provide some links so that people can go check it out and make it easier for you guys. Just watch the video, go straight to the link, and find it out on your own.
Absolutely. And well, I think we can have a last conversation about what I'm going to talk to you about next.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
So a preview and a sneak peek of it would be that even if you're living in Canada, if you decide not to move here to Mexico, you can still invest here. It doesn't have that you have to be living here in Mexico.
Like you don't physically have to be here in Mexico.
Absolutely
How do
not.
we do it? How do people do it?
Absolutely not. You don't have to be here. How do people do it is just by sending me a message. I'm going to give you all the info in person. And I'm going to do a Zoom call eventually when we gather around 10 to 12 people to discuss these things about. So it is really important for everybody to know. Everybody should know that your money doesn't have to stay where you're losing it. It is not a good strategy. Earn more money. Invest well. Think about yourself and your future. I think those are the best important things. And as I said, happy Thanksgiving to all of my friends and to you, Octavio.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Well, this is amazing information for everybody. I think people are starting to appreciate more the value of the information because it's so great to know these things, to give people more options to whatever they want to do with their money, you know? Like I said, once again, thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to our beautiful Canadian people. And thanks again for being here. And we're gonna have a guest soon so that he can interview people. And I'm just gonna sit on the sideline. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you.